And we're back
Who's back?
to Keste and Jones.
And they are who?
I am Ishe from Living Ishe Reviews, and you are
Lisa, also known as the Aklayuki.
all right. And we back, and we are reviewing a show, a reality show called Married at First Sight, season 14, episode 12. It's called Settling In or Just Settling. That's a good frame for this whole show and this season.
Mm-hmm.
So first starts off with Katina coming to see Jasmine and Mike for some much needed support and advice. And they talk about the dating app situation. She's crying, she's visibly upset. Did they have any good advice for her?
What was their advice?
Well, we have Mike mansplaining why, or not, that why Olajuwon is the way he is. The couple, both Mike and Jasmina, they say that give the man a pass because, he's, they know how emotional he is. So they like, basically, you should give him a pass or whatnot. And then Mike goes to speak to Olajuwon, and he didn't give him no good advice. He just listening. I don't know why he went to go see him because he didn't really say anything. He just was listening. Like, what advice is he gonna give him? He don't have a good relationship himself. And he can't even understand why she goes off, why Jasmina goes off the way she does. So I don't know how much help he was. Then Olajuwon starts mansplaining, and he justifies that he had a right to be mad and stuff because she didn't do what he expects her to do. Because remember, he deleted his Instagram and all that stuff for her is what he said. So, you can't expect somebody to act like you or do what you do. It's good if they do. You would want somebody to, but you can't get mad if they don't. I mean, she's just a different person. She basically says she forgot his own years old. And, but he thinks that, Olajuwon thinks that Katina has 1 foot in and 1 foot out of this whole situation.
I've not seen that from her.
I know.
I've seen her try her butt off and not seem to please him. Now, 2 weeks ago when they aired this episode, I was definitely 100% team Olajuwon. But now, even though I may not have stated it clearly in my inside voice, but now I'm just like, you know what? If she could show that she didn't actually have an active profile, it was just the app on there, then I could see how she would have forgotten. I honestly have so many apps on my phone that are not dating apps, but that are just apps that I don't even know what they do. I forgot that I downloaded them. I forgot what they're for. Which reminds me, I actually need to do a little detox. A little app detox.
Yeah.
What say you?
I mean, come on. Like, she's smart,
strong.
but sometimes she don't act like the sharpest tool, in the shed. So
yeah,
it seems like it's something she would do.
A little absent-mindedness.
Yeah, like Lucy. Lucy and Ricky, Lucy show.
Okay, Lucy.
She seems kind of like her, just kind of ditzy sometimes.
Never seen an episode, but I'm familiar with it.
All right, so then we go to Mark and Lindsay. They do this whiteboard, this team building board, where they supposed to put down all their their roles.
Oh, right.
And rules and responsibilities, tasks and stuff. And they got the times when this person's supposed to do it and this person is supposed to do it. So they got he put Lindsay on meal prep. They got to compromise, because of the stuff he don't eat. Most of the stuff he don't eat. Like,
and it's a lot.
Yeah. How is she gonna do meal prep when he only eats meat and potatoes? Yeah, and pizza and chicken fingers and mac and cheese. So
Mark the Shark has the palate of a 4-year-old.
Yeah, true indeed. Then they go to Stephen Noy. Not much there. I can't remember.
Stephen Noy, I mean, I think this was when they were trying to figure out. Well, I think was this the part where Steve was trying to get Noy to pick up some more responsibility, and they were chatting about cleaning the restrooms, for instance, and Steve was like, "Why don't you take one? I take one." And Noy's like, "No, why don't you take both?" I don't want to clean. I don't want to contribute because I'm over here working. Why don't you, do the shopping? Why don't you do this and all of the rest of that? Why don't you continue to do the cleaning and the cooking and all of it? I think that's where we were at.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, she didn't want to do nothing. Like.
Yeah, and here's my thing, right? The reason why I disagree with that is because what was Noy doing when she was living alone?
Yeah.
Were you not still working? Were you not still
getting meals on your own?
Getting meals on your own, cleaning your own toilet? Were you not? I mean, unless you had a cleaning lady, and if you did then, you should be able to afford one now. A cleaning person, to be inclusive, right? You should be able to afford one now that there were 2 incomes. So I didn't really understand, especially since Steve has said that he has been contributing 3 and 4 times more financially than she has. So I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, and him sitting on the fact that apparently he has significant savings.
Yeah, the man is not hurting. Like I don't know.
Basically,
what is her problem?
What Noy doesn't understand is that if he's doing as well as, we'll say, Gino from another show, 90 Day Fiance, and is sitting on, almost $750,000 in stocks, for instance, or has significant savings, which Steve tells us he does. That means he's purchased some time. He's bought himself some freedom, right? And if he's able to maintain that, that's great. If he's able to make his money, continue to make money, which by the way is what the wealthy people do, Noy. Okay, everyone wants to get to the point where they own their time again. We don't own our time. If people like Steve and Gino own their time, this should be upheld and celebrated, not looked down upon. But I've digressed. What I'm saying is, if he's able to continuously generate more money from the money that he's already saved up or invested, what have you, then his time is his time. Meaning that doesn't mean that he has to be cooking and cleaning toilets, shopping, and all the rest. That he probably has some creative things he wants to pursue. He's sacrificed and lived probably very frugally for an extended period of time. We have a mukbang coming, guys. For an extended period of time, probably so that he could take this breather.
Hey, I know I ain't trying to work. Like, who wants to have a job? if you can make money by staying at home, what we already been shown that during the panorama, whatever. So yeah, I mean, she is just like got to get over herself. She in her own way. So yeah, we go back to Mark and Lindsay, and they are at the grocery store.
You ready for the mukbang?
Yes, I am. I'm starving. Okay, so yeah, they go to the store, and they didn't even get inside the store, and they start arguing. Like, this couple argues so much. And then they arguing about, like, it's all Mark the Shark. Like, he doesn't like no vegetables. He don't like no kind of fruit. He don't want anything. And she's like, you gotta clean yourself out. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I mean, I've never seen a grown man that don't like carrots, apples. He don't like, only vegetable he eats is a potato.
Which has no real nutritional value. If I can just chime in.
We're not talking about sweet potatoes either. That was the best.
If I can just chime in as a licensed holistic lifestyle coach, I would just like to say, Mark the Shark, that your fruits are your cleansers and your veggies are your builders. So you need them. Okay, you absolutely need them. Hey, all right, so Living Isha Reviews treated us to a lovely dinner. We got some takeaway from POW POW, a vegan, plant-based restaurant in DC. And of course, I'm a plant-based babe. So is he. So we are feasting on, he has the K-Town barbecue chicken, right?
Yes.
Grilled with gochujang, is it gochujang sauce and black beans and a bunch of other yummy stuff.
Yeah, it's black beans,
Oh.
tomatoes, pineapple, kimchi, cilantro,
Okay.
fried shallots, and sesame drizzle.
All right. Well, pass that over because you know I've not been able to get onto their website to
That one's
call
not
out what
on
this
the
is. Oh, it's
regular.
not? Well, guys, this one over here that I'm about to feast in is the barbecue pulled jackfruit bowl. And as much of the ingredients that I can read off of Yelp are slow roasted in Korean gochujang sauce with black something. And then it cuts off. It won't allow me to see the rest of the description. And for some reason we've
We
been
got some
shoveling.
kimchi in there,
Okay, yeah.
some tomato,
We'll go with that.
salad,
Is this pineapple, do you reckon? I think this might be pineapple.
pineapple, I think is in there.
Anyways, and then last but not least, we have these new items from their menu. This is their plant-based shrimp. So this is what we're going to partake in. And the only thing that I can read for you, the only description I can give you is 4 hand-rolled and deep-fried plant-based katsu shrimp served with, I guess, some betta lettuce and some dipping sauce, which again, I can't tell you what it is because Yelp won't allow me to read the full description of the food unless I place a takeout delivery and then they tell me I can't even place one at this time. It's just a bunch of hoopla, guys. And then the website that we tried to get on to get the full description was not opening. We tried both of us with our different mobiles. POW POW, I don't know. We couldn't give him the whole bean. Or the whole bean. We couldn't give him the whole spiel. All right.
So,
Anyways, bon appetit.
yes, and this is great. So what happened? So yeah, the dude, Mark and Lindsay are fighting because she can't buy, and they're on a budget. So I'm sure all he got would increase the budget more because, well, no, plant fruits and veggies. If you get enough of them, you know, it's better for you. it's gonna last longer. So I think if they shopped the way she shopped, they would have made their budget. But he probably got a lot of like steaks and, you know, stuff that's expensive. So anyway, they're fighting about the budget. He wants bacon. Only thing he likes is bacon and sausage. And she calls him chicken finger man because he had a palate of a 8-year-old. And then we go back to Olajuwon and Katina. So they made up from last week when they got in an argument about the phone app. She apologized and they both understood. And they understand where each other's coming from, so they say.
Yummy for your tummy? Mine too.
And then Mark and Steve, they get together and they want to play catch or whatever. And then they
Mark and Steve? They did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, on the beach. Yeah.
And then they talking about their wives. Okay.
Phenomenal. Well done, POW POW.
Earlier we didn't show you, but we had this big order of 2 big orders of fries. One was called trolley fries and the other is called poutine. How you say it in French?
Putain.
Poutine fries. And they was so good. The trolley fries had like sriracha and barbecue. And
Stellar.
yeah.
And what
Then
else?
we got a whole bunch of other sides like
Cauliflower.
what was it, like some kind of
Brussels
sauteed
sprouts.
Brussels sprouts and broccoli with onions and
Cauliflower.
some kind of mix. It was good.
Everything was delicious.
Yeah.
Really well done.
So anyway, they talk about their fiancés and or their wives, not fiancés. you know, Steve was talking about he got a good savings, and Noe wants to see him going to a job every day.
Slave mentality.
Yeah, because she's all in the matrix. Don't mean he had to be. But let me see. Okay, then then they just talk. Mark's talking about Lindsay and him always fighting and whatnot, and if they're gonna say yes on decision day. They having girl talk or guy talk.
That was a Freudian slip. No, I'm just playing.
So yeah. So then we go to Mike and Jasmina. He's actually teaching her how to drive a car because she's almost 30 and never driven a car, doesn't have a license. So that's good on his part because he's giving her an experience that she never experienced. If he teaches her how to actually drive the car and she gets her license, she's always gonna remember that. But she is so pitiful in this car. She's scared to put it on the gas. They got the dog in the car seat in the back. Mike is scared for his life. And they ain't even going out the parking lot. So that's kind of a disaster. He ends up not teaching her that day, but he gives her like a test questions. He says she got a C-. So
it's not a fail.
Yeah. So now we go back to Steve and Noe, and Steve wonders how she's going to contribute to the relationship. Since she talking about him getting a job and she worried about these finances, he's like, well, what you gonna do? She's like, I work. He's like, no, how you gonna contribute around the house? So we both doing this, right? So I think they trying to do the old schedule thing too.
Oh, okay.
With the whiteboard. Rock.
Do you think Noe should be pitching in more, even though she's working from home?
She's working from home. She sure should. I mean, they should be equal at this point. But she wants to be a wife. She wants to be a mother. She can just do those things.
It's interesting because she says she doesn't want a house husband. But then she doesn't want to put in sweat equity into or any kind of back work into cleaning and cooking.
Yeah, because if they both working, she want him to get a job. She gonna keep her job. That house ain't gonna be clean all the time. They're gonna have dinner ready all the time. Like, I know it's 2022, but people still there still has to be roles and there still has to be compromise. And he's saying he makes enough money to take care of y'all without going to work. He's a man, he strikes me as an overworker. I think if he goes to work, she wouldn't see him.
Okay.
So she better be careful what she wishes for. That's the thing.
I'm still confused, Noe, by how you don't want a house husband, but you're happy to have him do all the cooking and the cleaning.
Yeah.
You're kind of setting it up that way.
She's so immature.
You say it turns you off, but you don't want to split the duties with him, so it's a little bit confusing for me.
And she wants babies, so she might as well get used to working now. Because when she starts getting pregnant and popping, she ain't gonna want to work no more. And especially if she wants 3.
She'll be out of the workforce for a minute.
She'll be working from home. So I think she's just not really analyzing the situation she wants. So then we got okay. So now all the couples are talking to their friends and family, and Olajuwon talks to an old coach who's like a father figure. Looked like it could be his dad.
You haven't tried one of these yet.
No, I didn't try one shrimp with the shrimps. One of the plant-based shrimps.
All the shrimps you'll see me touch. The real suckers are cockroaches of the ocean. Don't believe me? Google it.
All right, so now
Thank you.
the coach gives them good advice. Watch what comes out of your mouth. some stuff you say, you can't take it back. You got to really think before you react, because, you know, and don't let stuff bottle up, like before you say it. So watch what you say, because especially like her, she keep telling you, I don't like the way you're talking to me. I don't like your tone. And she keeps telling him, and he keeps doing the same thing. It's going to end badly. So that was good advice from the coach, Mike and Jasmina. Mike talks to his sister, who her advice ain't working, but he still talks to her. Mike says that they're on the same page and they too much alike. He said they made progress. I guess they friends. They feel like they're friends. He's trying to figure out how to get that intimacy going, and it's not working. It's not working yet. And he doesn't know if he can say yes on decision day. You got anything to add to that?
Shrimp is delicious. And nobody needs real shrimp when you have plant-based shrimp that tastes better.
It's on a bed of greens, like, what's this, like, I think it's like onions and lettuce and cilantro and all kinds of goodies.
Really good. I've not tasted anything I don't like yet. And it's not easy to please me as a plant-based person coming from Brooklyn. It's really not.
Believe me, this was one of the few places that I found in the area that she likes.
Yep, because New York, to me, slays vegan food, arguably better than LA. I'd go head to head with anyone that wants to have that conversation.
We'll see. Yeah. Okay.
Carry on, Senora Ishe.
Now we go to Jasmina, and she's talking to her mom. It's been a month, and she don't have feelings for him. That's what she told her mother. Cold.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Hard to hear that.
That was it about that. Mark and Lindsay, they fight because, so he's not following the schedule that he made, and it caused some rift in the chores, to where, like, he didn't take her clothes out the dryer. He ruined them. So they fighting about that. She said he never follows through on anything, especially with the rules that he created, that he's making a big deal out of. So then he touches, she's complaining that he touches the real cat instead of her cat. He's more concerned with his cats than hers.
That was a good pun, though.
Yeah, she let it be known. She don't hold nothing back. She just say what's on her mind.
She's like, this pussy over here needs a little patting.
Pussycat.
Pussycat, a little petting, a little patting.
And so now we go back to Katina and Olajuwon. Now she goes to see her sister-in-law, and she tells her sister-in-law that they still haven't been sex, but they've been intimate. Sister-in-law just says, hey, you don't be in your head too much, just have fun. You know, y'all both strangers, y'all best time is just to have fun with each other and then figure everything out later. So then we go to Steve and Noi. Steve talks to his brother.
No,
Sister-in-law. He's saying that Noi said that she's not ready to move in together after decision day. Noi's like talking to her sibling, who has two personalities, and today he's Sriracha. He's the female version of himself named Sriracha. So Steve is now more into Noi than she's into him.
You reckon?
I'm thinking, I'm like, see, once he gave her what she asked for, then she turned. Let him get all his feelings in. She's like, gotcha. Nah, I don't know, but she suggests that they live separately. Like they get married but live separately. Like, do you want to be married or not to this guy?
So you agree with her? No, you agree with Steve.
I agree with Steve. Like, they gonna do it. Like, she's scared that he's gonna be a bum and live off her money. Like, what is these people thinking? I mean, I don't know what they have, but man, whatever.
I don't either, but I suspect Steve has a little more than Noe.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Well, let's see what else we got. Man, it's so good. It's hard to make it through this whole
Let me
thing.
help you out so you can eat more of your delicious food.
You can help me out.
Where are you at? Hand it over the phone.
Oh.
So you can eat more.
Then we got. We're
They live separately.
Mark and Lindsay.
Mm.
So Mark and Lindsay, he talks to his friend Erica.
So
I can't remember what they talked about.
let's just finish this up. So basically, Ishay, to sum it up, guys, Ishay does agree with Steve about the decision that they should move in, or regarding them moving in together right after decision day. I'm actually gonna say that for once, I can agree with Noah. If they want to continue to date as married people for a few months, I don't think it's the end of the world. It may not be conventional, but let's not forget they're still strangers. And also, I think if I've learned anything about relationships, it's that everyone has their own way of relating romantically to each other. So, excuse me, I think that it's important that couples, sure, they can include traditional aspects of, observing their marriage vows, but there's also the opportunity to create your own way of doing things.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
But Noe talks about. Noe puts their business on social media too much.
Right. Yeah, she's still young. She's that's what she grew up on, right?
That's
so
true.
This is how really young people express themselves.
That's true.
But it doesn't make it right.
Young-minded people.
So over to Mark and Lindsay. He meets his friend, very well-groomed friend with a lovely manicure named Erica. Also, I peeped that Cartier bracelet. And they have a heart-to-heart. I think Mark is still not able to communicate effectively with his wife and is oftentimes hurt and dismayed at how she's able to just flip the switch and just go from being loving to being fairly aggressive and mean below the belt. So I think that will make it very hard for Mark to build trust, build a solid foundation with Lindsay. I think that the stuff that they've already experienced is going to be coming up for a very long time for them. A lot of things that Lindsay has said she just can't take back, and she has said quite a few things in a very short span of time. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, so she yells, and he tries to match that by raising his voice, which never works out.
It doesn't?
It doesn't really work out.
I'm just kidding. He's speaking from experience. Not with me, though.
Yeah. And she said she had to adjust the way she speaks. Because he's really sensitive, I guess. And he has to watch his tone.
Yeah. He's human. She does too much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, she's sensitive. Yeah. The situation is just like, nobody wants to go through that. So then she brings up again that he doesn't eat any vegetables and order like an 8-year-old. So that is a problem because he is not going to be healthy. I don't think he's healthy.
And Lindsay cares because she likes to eat a lot of electric foods that are alive, i.e. your vegetables and your fruits. She even does the whole, non-toxic home, which I do as well. using all natural, plant-based, environmentally friendly products in the house. So she definitely cares. So it'll be interesting to see. Also, Mark the shark. The cleaner your nutrition, the better your semen will taste and smell, if you care.
You can help her out to help him.
Right, exactly. All right. Let's see. Elijah, well, it says here, Mike and Jasmina, they cooked dinner together. Did they cook or did they order in? By the way, they're always eating two different things.
They cooked.
They did?
Remember you made the pasta show.
The lasagna roll.
Mm-hmm.
Lascia stare, ragazzi, lascia stare. We won't even talk about the lasagna roll, except that the sauce that you bought is from a very reputable restaurant in Manhattan, so good choice, Mike.
Yep.
Yeah, so they seem to at least be getting on. We don't see any fire or chemistry between them, but I will say this. This is the first time we've not seen them argue. So I think this entire episode, they got on brilliantly, so that was refreshing. Olajuwon and Katina have Taco Tuesday. Katina is like, oh, it's something I used to always do with my mates. Yeah, now I want to do it with my hubby. And here I am thinking they're about to cook, but no, they ordered in tacos, which is fine. It's fine. No shade. At the end of the day, Olajuwon, whether she cooks it or she orders it in, as long as you're eating well, Bob's your uncle. Wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to add?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him do anything for her other than make breakfast at one time. I haven't seen her like bring her flowers or bring her a gift. I just see him just, you know, want to take. He's a nice guy. I think he loves her, but he's putting too much expectation and pressure on her. So we just don't see him doing stuff for her. Like she went out, did the movie night with the snacks and stuff. Believe me, these women, they keep a digital register and they mind everything they do.
We do.
And he's gonna get to the point he's gonna be arguing one day. And she's gonna be like, this. You haven't done nothing but talking all along.
But she even did their 1 month anniversary, the gondola and everything. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, I think they were in Venice, so.
He did take her on a food tour, which was actually undercover helping her know how to cook.
It was a cooking class. And it was for his benefit. It was entirely for his benefit, but okay. In any case, they're getting on, having a good time, and they've moved past the whole dating app debacle. Back to Mark and Lindsay. They dress their many cats up like sharks because Lindsay has organized for a professional photo shoot of her and their 5 babies, their cats. But in the midst of all of this, they're about to have food, and just like Jasmina and Mike, they eat from 2 different places, 2 different things entirely. And Mark's food over here is all literally brown and beige with 0 nutritional value and absolutely no electricity. And remember, we are electric beings. And then we have Lindsay here who eats like an adult. She has green, orange, yellow, all these different colors on her plate and is eating like a person that is accepted full-on adulthood, and their palate also has accepted full-on adulthood. So
and she asked him to try said food and he will not.
He doesn't want to try the pineapple sauce. Imagine. It's not even exotic. It is, but you know what I mean?
For him.
It's pineapple sauce. It's not better. Anyways, guys, anything else you want to add? Oh yeah, so they fall out. It ends up being a really awkward night. Lindsay literally goes from 0 to 1,000 yet again. She goes, what is it that they fought about exactly? Was it the food? What was it this time that threw her over the edge?
I think it was still about the chores and stuff, was it?
It might have been. Let's just say it was another fight, another argument. There've been so many, it's really hard to keep up, guys. And basically it gets to the point where she is wanting to leave. She doesn't even want to stay for the photo shoot. The photographer literally just arrives and Lindsay is in the room packing up her bag. Mark is like, I don't know what to do. Let's just start with pictures of me. So the photographer commences to take photos of Mark with the cats, and then eventually, you know, Mark goes in to check on her. Hey, can you take part? She's like, do you want me to? She's playing these games. If you want me to, because I don't want to, but if you want me to, I will. But I don't want to. Let's be
I'm just
clear.
like,
I'm just gonna do it if you Mark, if you want me to.
I hate doing the job for couples and they're in that fight.
Right.
Really awkward.
Because yeah, everyone feels the energy. So after she's made it clear that she's only doing it for Mark, they proceed to take photos. It looks very cute. No, not really, if I'm being honest. I think that photographer's work was really cut out. Well, it was cut out for her because they were not in a good mood, the energy. So it was just odd. I think she probably did the best that she could, but I think, I don't know if they got any great images out of it or not, frankly.
No. They looked weird because she bought the shark outfits for the cats.
Mm-hmm.
Just weird.
And yeah, it's still about the boundaries, and you know, we've heard the numerous arguments over the last several weeks with these two, and that's it really. They take their photos. Like I said, I don't know that anything came out of it because the energy was so bad. They weren't really light and jovial, and the camera reads all of that. It picks up a lot of that. So it ended up on that note. So we don't know what next week, but I'm sure they'll be loveyed up again for about 5 minutes, and then they'll fight again for 5 minutes. For me, it's a roller coaster. I don't know why either one of them would want that for a lifetime, but I don't wish either of them, misery. What say you?
I'm done with them. I'm done with all the couples. I don't think nobody's gonna say yes.
You know, you actually was really for Lindsay and Mark, actually. I remember around the honeymoon time, you were like, yeah, I reckon these two are going to make it.
I think they're gonna say yes, but I think it's gonna be short-lived.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be divorced within a year probably.
Ouch, we don't want to put that out there. We wish you guys the best, but it's troublesome. We see you having more arguments than good times, just from a viewer's perspective.
Yeah.
So on that note, Senora Ishe.
Well, as for an episode, oh, so good. I'm getting full. But I give this episode a 6.
I'm gonna give it a 7. It was better than the last couple of episodes. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, this is it for our review of Married at First Sight, season 14, episode 16. Oh, 12.
Bring a little pizzazz.
Yeah, and with that, last words.
Get free and then stay free.
Stay decent.
Bye.
Bye.